whether or not I really want to use this chalkboard in my kitchen. And here I'll explain to you why. Okay, so I bought these chalkboards, cutting boards. I keep saying chalk. These cutting boards, I found these in stores. This one here, I think could have been a cutting board if they hadn't painted it. I don't think I want to cut up my vegetables. Now, maybe the wood, it's painted, definitely. They do have the little feet on it, which is kind of handy with the cutting board, but it's definitely been kind of painted and finished off. So I really don't think I want to use that as a cutting board, but it's a great shape. Love the handle and everything. Can't remember how much I paid for it. Got twine on it. I'm going to keep it there. And then I found this little bitty guy here who seems to be a little bit more of a cutting board until I just happened to look at the tag and it said not for use with food. It actually says that. It was on sale. It was $5, not for use with food. So I don't think I'm going to use it for my food. So I thought, what am I going to do with these two cutting boards? I liked them, and that's the reason I bought them. But as I thought about it, I thought, I don't think I want to use them for food. So I thought, I'm going to use them for art. What a better idea. So I thought, well, I'm going to use them together. And I don't mind, I like the colors together. That's fine. I'm not going to paint them or anything, but I did want something to blend on them. So here's what my idea is. I'm lining them up. I like them one in front of the other, just about like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is line that up straight. I'm going to take a little bit of my Couture tape. This is a lot like painter's tape, except painter's tape needs to come out with this idea because I think it's great. There's little dashes on there. They're not numbered, just like a ruler, but they're not numbered. They don't need to be numbered necessarily, but it's great to kind of, if you're measuring, and a lot of times when you're using even painter's tape, you kind of would like to have that measurement on there. So I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to move it over more than I want it to be. Make sure I'm straight on the bottom so I get it kind of straight, and just eyeball it and just lay that down there. So it's going to actually go right there when I'm done. And I'm actually going to glue these together because I'm not going to use them for food. So on this one, I'm going to work on this side, and on this one, I'll just work on this surface. So that's what I've got first. Okay, I'm going to use Modern Floral. Isn't this really cool? I just love it. I have used the heck out of this thing. I even used this on a huge stencil, and a huge stencil. I'm saying the wrong words today. I apologize. It's Friday. But a huge spindle, a big, huge, like I think it's about 3 feet, and a big chunky spindle. And I took this and put this around the whole spindle with this transfer. So it works out great. It's so much fun to use. And it's reusable. You can use it several different times. I've also covered my nightstand over there. The drawers have this on there. So it's great for covering things like that. If you can get it out of the little envelope here. Okay, there we go. Now, when I'm using a big stencil, one of the things I've learned, you don't want the sticky side, this is on a backing, you don't want the sticky side to fold and stick on each other. And I've got a really bad habit of doing that. And it's really kind of hard to undo. And in fact, if you do that, you can get it undone. You usually need to put it in the water, in a pan of water, and, kind of separate it a little bit slowly. But since I've been doing that so much, I finally learned if I put my towel down, now I'm fuzzing this if you're new to Couture, I'm adding some fuzz to it so that it will pick up easier. Now, if I wanted to, I could have cut this transfer in half and just used a part of it. Since I'm not really using a huge surface, as I look at this here, that looks kind of crooked. I'm going to kind of adjust my tape over here, just a touch. Going by the lines of the cutting board. There we go. Okay. So I'm putting fuzz on it so it makes it easier to come up. Now, I did leave the backing on part of this. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take the backing off and go ahead and fuzz the whole thing just in case I overlap. I know I've got fuzz on some of it. And it doesn't stick together quite as much if you've got some of the fuzzing on it. This could be done with a regular bath towel too. You do not have to use a Couture specific towel. Any bath towel will work. Any terry cloth towel will work. Okay, now because of my tape, on some of these transfers, when you've got this big square like this, or any of them that has that line, this line along here, along the edge, you can kind of use that if you for a start and stop on your projects. But for this one, I really use it because I want it to seem like it goes on one of the cutting boards and then kind of bounces onto the other. So I'm going to lay this right like that. Let me put this over here so you can see. I need to bring YouTube down to the table. Now I can see my tape through there. Okay, bring this down a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, I can see my tape through there. So I'm going to work on this side of the tape and cover this side of the board. Okay, now my paste, I should have showed you this before I started, but I've got the gray. This is the French word for gray. And then I've got iced coffee. Now I want to use the iced coffee on this side because this cutting board is gray. And then I'm going to save the gray color for this one over here since it's a little more slightly iced coffee color. So I've got to switch in my colors there. Okay. And this stuff is just luscious and so easy to use. And I'm doing a big surface. Now I could have gotten a bigger squeegee and done this super fast. Actually, I probably could just use it right now. I think yep. This is the bigger squeegee. I had someone the other day ask me about it. This is the bigger squeegee. And this covers a lot of surface real fast because the thing about Couture is you want to do it quickly. You don't want to spend a lot of time fussing with it because it dries fast. So you kind of want to get it on there and get it moving. And I'm taking this right up to the edge of my line here, or my edge of the stencil here. And then I'm wiping any excess. I'm going to take that excess and put it right back in that jar. Reuse it for another project. Hello, Betty Ann. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me get this little bit of excess off, and I'll clear this off. And I'll pick this up. Ta-da! Oh, it's very light to see, but I like it. I love it. I love it. I almost used white, which might have been a little bit more to see. Can you see that over there and here? See that? Whoops, let go going the right direction. I will move my tape now, and I'm just going to set this aside and let that dry. It's very subtle, but I can see those flowers on there. It's great. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay. I'll put my tape down, my little trash can over there. And hi. Oh, love your idea. Might have to order that transfer. I love this transfer. I've used it so many times. It's one of my favorites. Okay, now for this board, I want to kind of line up with where I was at on that flower, just barely. I might leave it off the edge, like about an 1/8 of an inch. Just because I want to make sure I don't get my coffee color onto this part. And this one here, I'm just going to cover it completely. Now that I look at that, I probably should line it up at the bottom though. There we go. That way, the flower that was here will overlap on this one. Okay. Just that little bit. Right in there. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit more because I did have that on right there. Okay, and then you just press down really well. And then I do only have one large. I'm just going to wipe this off and just use the same one. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. I do have Clorox cleaning wipes. The only reason is because we ordered we ordered Clorox cleaning wipes way before any kind of virus ever hit. And we do that because we use them in the RV a lot, and it's just so handy to use. I had never bought them till we bought, actually, till I started doing Couture, and then we have the RV, and I thought, oh my gosh, these things would be so handy in the RV. Now, one thing I am thinking about is I'm going to put tape on the top of this. I probably should have put it on the bottom, but I don't want to take the time to do it because I do not want to cover the whole handle. I want it to stop right about this line here. So you can put that on there on the top and still, you know, it will stop that edge. But other than that, I'm going to go right to the edge on everything else. Okay, and again, this is the gray. This is the French word for gray. I don't know how to say it. I wish I did, but I really don't. So we'll just pretend it's gray. It's a beautiful, soft, light kind of gray, about the same color as this cutting board here. Okay, put that on. Just splatter it wherever. And then I'm going to use this big squeegee again, and I'm going to kind of take it this way. When you squeegee it, your squeegee picks up some of it, and you can take it and just move it around. Move it off the edge there. Just slide it over the whole transfer. Oop, I got a little bit on the top. There we go. And if you know, this will set, and but on some surfaces it will it may come off, but I want this to stay, so I will spray this once everything is dried with a matte finish, a matte spray, just to clear, so that way, you know, you can't tell it's there. It's matte. It's not going to show. Take the excess. Take it off. I'm going to start from here, go all the way down, make sure I've got it all. Start from here, go all the way down, pick it all up. Take that excess, put it back in that jar for another project. Okay, and then lift. Ooh, I love it, I love it, I love it. My pan is still in the bathroom over there, so I'll have to put that in water. Okay, now what my idea is, put these together, line those up. This flower here continues over here, and then this one here comes off just barely onto that, but I really do like that. I think that is so neat, very subtle. And when I glue these, I'm going to hold them like that. So that I glue them, I'll lean them, I'll hang them on the wall. I'm going to add more twine to this one here. You're taking a break from your chores to watch. Okay, guys, that's Mike. He's downstairs, probably resting with maybe a cup of coffee, I hope. But I will glue these together so that they just kind of stay together, because I'm never going to use these for my food. So I've got kitchen art that I really do love. I love the way that came out. It's very subtle, which is kind of the look that I was going for. Of course, make this match your kitchen. Find a couple of cutting boards. At the thrift store is a great place for cutting boards too. But find a couple of cutting boards. Get some chalk paste that matches your color in your kitchen. And if you're watching on Facebook, the transfer is in that link so that you can grab that transfer and have it. It's a beautiful, beautiful transfer, and it's fun for a background, and it's so easy to use. So you guys go have a creative day, and I will see you on Monday at 8:30 in the morning, and we'll do another fun creative chalk project. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye. getting my water bath, puppies. I forgot my water bath.